let's get started. Yesterday we completed the EVS Elastic Block Store, and now let's move to the EFS. Okay, let me check this one. EFS, which is nothing but Elastic File System. It is useful for your file sharing across your multiple servers. So let's understand something in deep about it. For example, I have multiple servers, okay, and I would like to share the files between the multiple servers. So which service or which mechanism is going to help me in it? Okay, so NFS and EFS both are there. So EFS is Elastic File System, which is completely a persistent file system. Persistent file system we use for the storage purpose and replicating the same data among the multiple servers. So let's understand before this what is an actual thing happening at the servers at the network. Like I have a data center, let's say. Okay, like I have a SAN network. Rack servers. Okay, so rack is not there. Data center. So this is your SAN network. So SAN network is nothing but, so previously we used to maintain this storage area network, which we do high speed network connectivities for this storage devices with multiple servers. It's basically at the data center configuration we do, and we will be accessing like this shared storage, okay, with an attachments, and we do connect with this fiber channels. Let's say I will be going to be keep one rack server here like this in my data center. Rack server is nothing but we'll keep a one rack, and here I'm going to place the physical disks, okay, physical device like this. Like this. We're going to keep like this, and here we will be going to enable something like NFS, Network File Sharing System. Okay, NFS, and these both are going to be in the one network, and then I will be having a number of EC2 instances or number of servers. Let's say I'm just taking one server, second server, and third server. Okay, so this is going to be connected to the NFS server again, my SAN network, and my SAN network is going to communicate with this server 1. We can attach, and we can attach server 2, and we can attach to a server 3. Okay, so like this, server 1, server 2 and server 3. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Here I have one server, second server, third server. So in this 3 servers I would like to store some data, okay, or I would like to share some data. So I have to go with the NFS configuration, network file sharing system, and then I have to allow the SAN network. Then I will be able to do the same thing at all these 3 servers. Let's say for example I have very important application code, or I have very important uh, a file which it should be available at this 3 of the servers. Okay, it should be available at this 3 of the servers. So I don't have a much time. Like let's say you have a 40 servers, and will you do a manual copy into all the servers? If you do a manual copy into all the servers, it's going to take at least 1 hour of time to you. Even though you write the shell script and you have to define all the IP addresses, all these things every time, and if you are having expansion of the servers, okay, also you will face somewhat some difficulty with your shell scripting also, okay, yeah, because you need to be into the one thing. Okay, but here my this kind of setup will help me whenever you update something, whenever you want to share one file from your storage to across multiple servers, it's going to be replicated automatically once you are kept in one server, NFS server or EFS server. Okay, so SAN network, how SAN is working, sir? Can you please explain what was there inside SAN? Storage area network. If you go to any of the big companies, like if you take AT&T, also if you take this Geo, and you take any other big companies, the companies will maintain SAN network separately. So these servers are nothing but HP servers. HP, okay, most of the cases HP and IBM. Previously IBM servers and HP servers and Huawei sometimes, and Nokia also. Nokia servers there in the SAN networks. We'll be using Delhi's for laptops. Okay, so we have this servers are major servers at server side, server compute engine sites. Okay, so this is at the physical infrastructure side. It's at the physical infrastructure side. We have to set up NFS. We have to set up NFS. So this is going to be handled by a SAN network engineer. So previously there's separate engineers for this. Network engine is separate, SAN network engine is separate again. Okay, so our Linux administrator also is part of this, is going to sit separately for these configurations and doing these operations at the SAN network side, and sharing the things, providing the access, uh, and allowing the protocols at the firewalls and all, is going to carry out all these responsibilities at the on-premises structure. It is at on-premises structure I'm talking. Now we are using this one, cloud. And the challenge also at the on-premises, when you are connecting the SAN network, you have to maintain the you can connect with the LAN also, fiber also. Okay, so here also there will be a TX transmission, we'll say transmission teams, TX and RX. And there will be some MUX. Okay, so there are some devices. Okay, so these devices has to be configured like with the wiring to this network. So these are all, many things are going to be involved to maintain the SAN network separately. Okay, and there will be some other devices. Even though you are seeing one big network, right? Like you are seeing what this one Vodafone or Airtel towers. The towers are nothing but UBR. Some unreliable bandwidth something definition is there. So the tower is nothing but UBR. It's having the master and client signal things. The UBR will be the one master IP with the pool. At least two IPs will be there at it, and it will be also going to have the client. Okay, it is also having the client, and it is going to communicate. Here, this SAN network is also going to be work like that even. Okay, we are going to be configure those things at the network devices, like we have uh, this one, like Huawei routers also there. Juniper, Nokia is nothing but we call it as Alcatel. Alcatel, the biggest, it's equal to Cisco and Juniper, and same like that. Nokia also, so we call Alcatel. So those devices also high-end configuration devices making use at the configuring this network. So this is what previously was there. Now we adapt to the cloud system. When we go with the cloud, then how this is happening it, and what case I will be going for this EFS. Okay, Elastic File System now it is. Okay, so at Elastic File System, Elastic I'm telling, let's say let's talk with the EC2 instance. Now I took an EC2 instance. Okay, so this is my EC2 instance, and I need some extra data. I took EBS. When I started creating EBS, the price will be start. Calculating the price will be start on your account. Then you can attach to your server. But it started uh, charging on you when you create it. Okay. But something I want to share the data. Okay. I want to keep the data also as a backup. I want to really store some file system. I don't want to keep it in the EBS. I just want to make to EBS to be used for my application side and other things. But in order to keep some files, secured files, or in order to keep some application development files also, or some other configuration files also, I want to make use of one storage. And those files should be available at all the servers. So how can I configure this? How can I go for this? So here EFS is the solution. If you configure EFS, what is this? It's not editing. Let me take, EFS. When you create it also, it's not going to start charging on you. But when you attach to your server, and whatever the data you are keeping it here inside, okay, let's say you are increasing today your 1 GB, tomorrow 2 GB, day after tomorrow 4 GB, 5 GB. Accordingly, by default it comes with the unlimited. EBS you are creating with the GB, your defined GB, like 2 GB, 3 GB, 8 GB. You are defining the GB, the storage. But coming to EFS, you are not defining that. It comes with the unlimited, and it's flexible, auto sync. If you are keeping the data more, it's going to be increased, and it's charged according to your increasing the data. And when you decrease, it's going to be decrease your pay of charge on you in the pay as you go model. Okay, but you can make use at multiple instances. I'll tell you. For example, For example, how does it is going to work? First thing, okay, and it is fully managed thing. How does it going to work means it a fully managed thing. The thing at on premises, you are managing these two things. This box which I highlighted, that is going to handle by the AWS. No need to worry about this network and this file sharing protocols and all. It's going to be managed by the AWS. And the only thing you have to do, this configuration, this arrows I'm highlighting, right, and the servers. The only thing we need to bother about, this servers and this arrows, the connectivities. And how it is going to work. Okay, so you can use it your EC2 instances. You can use it ECS, EKS and Fargate. We have a, like, it is a serverless compute service in the AWS, which is nothing but a server itself only, but you don't need to worry about the computing and configuration processes. AWS is completely going to manage it. Okay, AWS is completely going to manage it. So that is. Sir, can you please explain a little bit about NFS? Okay, so NFS is nothing but, again I'm telling, it's a network file system. It's a one protocol, okay, which allows to access the remote servers at one logical point. Okay, for example, you have these three servers. These three servers having the one file, and the file should be accessed server 2, and the file can be accessed to the server 3. So this mechanism is going to enable by the NFS. Okay, so it's going to access the directories at remote server. It's going to access the directories, whatever the directories are present at server 1. So my server 2 can access, and whatever the directories at server 1 and server 2, my server 3 can access. And whatever you do, for example, you're keeping one file here. Let's say you're keeping one file here. So this file can access by this 2. And if you delete this file, and it is, this file can be here also, here also, here also. And if you delete this file in the server 1, it is going to be deleted in server 2 and server 3 also. Okay, so that means when you created one file and keeping into the NFS, okay, 3 servers can able to see this file at one point. If you delete this one, 3 servers also will be going to be look like this file is not there, it's deleted. Whatever you do action at this file, the 3 servers can able to see this. So that is going to done through the NFS. The only thing is here, we are not defining the size. Whatever the size you are uploading or you are keeping it here, according to that, it will be elastic. Okay, it will be elastic. That's why I'm keeping a file system as an elastic file system. Yes, in all type of OS we can have this NFS. Okay. SAN is the storage network, and NFS which is going to enable the protocol to access the multiple servers to your storage. Okay, let's say you're keeping a file here. 3 servers has to be accessed this one. I have to set up NFS. Getting? This is SAN. You can go for the IBM. It's not loading. Okay. Includes the communication infrastructure, provide the physical connection and allow to device, the bridge across. It's coming like a lot of definition at the networking point of view. Okay, so it's a storage to storage, ability to move the data without server and intervention and free up the server's process cycle of the activities such as application processing. Example including disk, drive, device backups and the data types and device without server intervention. The remote device mirroring across the SAN. So SAN switch, SAN router, SAN devices, SAN servers with the IBM. Simply we call it as SAN fabric. Okay, so this is something if you could ask any network engineer, they know very better about the SAN. IBM is more into the SAN technology. Actually, they have invested and they configure a lot of things. Before 5 years back, 6 years back, 10 years back also, the network was emerging at that time. Like if you see 8 years back, networking technology like how we are now on the DevOps technology, a cloud technology. So networking is set boom at that time. So there was a lot of developments that are happening at that time. Okay, so SAN is the one of the thing, biggest thing over there. SAN engines are getting very good package at that time because it's very important to any big network company. Okay, and other big application companies also. Connection lost. Wait. Yeah, so I can use it EC2, ECS, AKS and Fargate. Okay, for what? Shared access directories across the multiple servers. It could be a serverless server also. Okay, so for this I'll going to use it. To make you more clear, let's understand something like the use cases. First of all, it's used for secure file sharing across your multiple remote servers. Second thing is, at what you will do, means at what, in which category, like in at what place you will need this secure file sharing things. At web hosting. At web hosting servers, like we will be having a multiple web servers can access the file sharing system, and we can increase this EFS whenever the data incoming is increased. Okay, and it's a very best at your application development like your ECS and EKS microservices things, serverless architectures. Okay, so in these areas we use EFS effectively for faster efficiency and the consistency. So we use this, and it is into the pay as you go model. Whatever the data you are moving more, and it is going to be charging according to it. Okay, and I said already the difference between EBS and EFS. EBS, you are going to define the storage like 8 GB, 2 GB, 3 GB, 5 GB, and when you created the EBS, it started charging on your account. But EFS, when you keep the data in the EFS only, start charging on it. It's not going to charge you since you created it. Okay, when your data will be there only, it's going to be charging according to your data, what data and how much data you're keeping in it. And if you're scaling the data, it's going to be for do that as well. Okay, and we do have different storage classes for this EFS. Like we have the first one is like the storage classes which available for EBS, the same storage classes available for this EFS also. which is standard. Okay, and one more is infrequent access. Infrequent access 1 zone. Infrequent access 1 zone. So my EFS is by default going to take the standard storage class, and it is chargeable one, most effectively used one for frequently accessed files. But when I go with the IA zone, it is a cheaper storage one recommended for rarely accessing files. So I don't want to be everyday reach to a file and extract that file and or keeping some data into the file. I don't need that such things. So in such case, I can go with infrequent access 1 zone. Okay, like rare access, read and write permissions. Okay, and then it is same like covering the same throughput things like what we discussed at the EBS, like in the last class, that the throughput all. So it is having the bursting and enhanced. For example, I have my EFS. Okay, it's having a bursting and enhanced. Okay, so bursting means at the throughput it's going to scale the amount of storage for workload for the basic performance requirements. For basic performance requirement, let's say you have your Gmail account. Okay, and what is the space of your Gmail account? How much it is? 15 GB. Am I right? It's having a 15 GB only. Okay, so 15 GB is already fulfilled, like it's already filled, right? Emails already filled and it's giving you a notification that 15 GB is filled. There's nothing to do, but still you'll get some mails, and the warning mail also coming to you, right? That is also in the same storage. After like completely consume the 15 GB, but still you get receiving some mails. How come? That is bursting, a burstable size. Okay, so it provides some throughput, some extra performance workload on your the existing thing. Okay, so that is bursting. And enhanced is provides more flexibility and higher throughput level at the workload at high performance, like it's going to be enhanced some more. Okay, so it's at the throughput. Okay, the rate of transfer data around 100 Mbps per TB. Okay, like 100 Mbps per each TB, the speed. Okay, for it is for my bursting. For enhanced, so we can decide that the maximum burst speed could be charged more, and it's a default limit actually. Okay, so users can decide that maximum burst speed on the EFS, and they will be charging accordingly on it enhanced, but at the bursting 100 Mbps per TB speed. Okay, so this is bursting and as well as throughput. And in most of the cases, the performance at the EFS very low latency. Low latency means it's like it's not going to take a much time for your data transfer. around 6000 IOPS input output per second, I guess, if I'm not wrong. I think that's the thing. The maximum IO will be more than 5000 IOS, okay, IOPS. Around it reached to 8000 IOPS also, I'm not sure, but it will be, okay, like in a theoretical manner it will be. So that is my EFS. So let's log into my AWS cloud. If you search EFS, click on it. Now you can see Amazon Elastic File System, Scalable, Elastic, Cloud Native Service, NFS File System. NFS File System. You can read out how it is going to work. What is of shared file storage? All this. Now I would like to create one file system. It is asking me to apply a name for your file system. Let's say data underscore file share. Data file underscore share. I'm just giving like this, okay. And it is asking me to, hey, are you working in which network? First thing. So as of now we have only default network, we not created any VPC. I'll go with this. It's loading. Now you can see have one file system here, okay. It got created and encrypted also. General information, and if you click on this, now you can see, so method the size, like with the default thing it came directly, and the general information, general purpose. Throughput mode is elastic, lifecycle management and automatic backups are enabled. So I just don't want enabling. I'll go with the edit, and here I don't want the backups now. If I go with the backups, it will be charged on my account. Okay, let's keep the lifecycle management, the retention policy, and throughput mode. You can see bursting and enhanced. Bursting and enhanced, elastic and provisioned. When elastic, use the mode of workload with unpredictable IO, input output. With the elastic throughput performance, automatically scale your workload activity, and you will be only pay for the throughput you use data transferred for your file system per month. When you go with the provisioned, use this mode in case of estimating workload throughput requirement with provision mode, and the configure file system throughput may pay through the provision. Like if you go with the provisioned one, so how much you want to keep the throughput maximum, and what is the provision throughput, so accordingly only it is going to charge, okay. So elastic is always the good when you're going with the web servers. Always, we don't know how much traffic we'll receive if you deploy a application like Flipkart or Amazon, right? Or if you're deploying something application like Shopify is running right now at Vercel. For example, anyone know about the Vercel? Vercel is a tool which directly having the all servers with it. It's advanced mechanism of deployment platform. We don't need to worry about the server configurations and the servers. It just we need to have the code, Python, .NET, React, whatever. Just deploy it here by connecting the code. That's it. It's going to be deployed directly. And whatever you are going to, for example, we know some things, right? Uh, let's say you are the one guy and you want to start one company, or you want to sell something like second-hand mobiles application, or second-hand laptop application, or some pickle selling, like the local shopkeepers want a site. They'll go to the Shopify and they'll take some subscription. Shopify will ask you to create some templates, static templates, right? And just you'll go and select some themes, and you do just publish it. When you do publish, automatically the site is enabled with for you with the DNS, and it works accordingly what you are wishing to with the theme, with the template. How does the deployment is happening? Here is the Vercel. Here it is happening. The Shopify is deploying here in the Vercel. Okay, it's from the MuleSoft. It's deploying in the Vercel. The deployment is just in a seconds happening at where? Here in the Vercel it's happening. Okay. Now the Vercel is integrated at the GoDaddy also, Hostinger also. Okay. I will discuss this one at CI/CD classes at DevOps Vercel. Don't worry about it. So I just don't want this file production because we are doing just demo, and save changes. I really want to attach this file sharing with my multiple servers. Let me go with my EC2 instances. I'll create EC2 instances. Launch instance. Inside the region. It's not global, region specific. Roshan. And I'll say EFS. I'm not going to give any name right now. I'll take Amazon, and I'll take tip.micro. Now this Mumbai region is having how many availability zone? 1, 2, 3. 3 availability zones it is having. Okay, fine. Let me take one server in one availability zone. Okay, and I'll say type is not supported in zone 1C. Nano also not supported in 1C. Not supported. Oh my god. Okay, let's go with the 2 regions only. Episode 1C not available. 1A, T2 micro. See, always C availability zone C in Mumbai, it's not support for few of the things. Only A and 2 will be good, like A and B. And yes, Red micro, and I'm just selecting the 1A enable. I'll going with the all traffic security group. See here. Okay, and I'll go with 8 GB and I'll just GP3 and launch instance. Okay, let this instance create. Okay, so in EFS, servers must be in the same region. What happened? Sorry, some network disconnect happened at my end. I don't know. Are you able to hear my voice, everyone? What about the screen? Okay. It got launch installation failed, retry failed task. Yep, network disconnect happened. It got failed. Okay, so now I have one server at one availability zone. Like yes, all these servers should be in the one region. Okay, need to access the same elastic file. We have to be all in the same region. It's good practice. And if you go with other region, no, it's because it is inside the region specific. Now I'll create one more server at 1B. Server 2, I'll say Amazon micro PC and 1B. Going with the same security group. Like a lot of separate groups are created. 8 GB launch instance. My two servers are in two different availability zones and the same VPC, the same network. Server 1. Now fine, so let me access this service. Yes, and let me go with the server 2 as well. Server 2 IP address is this one. Connect, copy, my internet connectivity is not stable. What's happening? No, I got disconnected. Guys, So I have logged into my 2 of servers now, and I just want to configure that attach EFS. Let's come here, click on this, go to attach, mount via DNS, mount via IP. Okay, so going with this, it's a good thing, but one thing, in Mumbai region, this is my Mumbai region, right? So we have created servers in one availability zone, and we have created servers in one availability zone, right? Let me check here. Does it asking? It's not asking security group. Let's see. df-h. What mounting points I have here? This one. Fine. So I'll be going to create one folder like EFS is a folder in both of the things slash EFS. Copy this, come here, paste here. EFS mount point does not exist. Let's say I'll say mkdir EFS client -1. Unknown file system. If I'll go with 1A, copy, mount point EFS does not exist. mkdir EFS wait a minute. If I go with this and the mount NFS, then this and this one, and then I have to provide my directory things. So let's say let's mount something EFS mkdir. We have already client 1, right? FN client 1. Like fine. So mkdir -p/mnt/ something like EFS wait a minute, yeah, and then copy this, come here, file unknown files type. If I go with client 1, so first thing first, using EFS mount helper, mount -t EFS /AFS and EFS, and then use the NFS client. Okay, no, I have to be so this one not working. Some unknown file system means I have to mount the thing, or there I think yum update, it's already updated. I think we need to install EFS utility, EFS util command Linux. This one. It was done. And what else? Mountings point, and now I can able to mount it. Let's say I'll go with the my ESF client 1 itself. Mount point does not exist. All then yep, it hasn't done. MNT EFS I have defined here. Now I'll going to be do the same thing, but before that I'll going to run this in my another server, and then same thing, but here you have to create the this one. So I'll going to do this, and then here mount it, and your second command is this one. And the same thing, go into another server and do it here. Okay, so when I go to the EFS directory, this directory, ls, nothing is here, and if I'll come to same here, ls, nothing is here. and 172.31.39.147 and 172.31.2.240. Two are two different servers into different networks almost. Okay. Now if I'll going to create one file, touch devops.txt ls. So in other server I have to see it. Yes, I'm able to see it. And if I create a directory mkdir aws ls, I would also able to see ls here only file. If I do ls, I'll able to see aws. So you do this configuration, this two commands. Previously in the AWS we need to run at least 4 commands, I guess, but now it's a complete managed file system through your Amazon AWS. We don't have to worry about even creating this security group in between also, like allowing the NFS. That's enough that at the server, if you are allowing the all TCP or all traffic, or inside the security group, you have to make sure the NFS should be allowed. When you go with all, NFS also come into that. If you not, you should make sure the security group should have the NFS protocol allowed. Okay. With that only it is able to access the remote server. Now two are remote servers. Now the same file is replicating at the two of the servers. Okay, I'm not using SAN here. I'm saying the SAN before the cloud system, how the on-premises structure was there with the SAN network. And now Amazon also maintaining the SAN network, but we are not able to see it. It is managed completely at his data center. All the storages are at the SAN only. Amazon maintaining the SAN separately. We are not configuring and we are not utilizing it. I'm giving the what the things behind it. Okay, so I'm telling on premises was there. Companies are handling previously storage and all. There we are using SAN, and how that's how the companies are maintaining the storage with the big networks. Now Amazon also big company. They have to maintain the storage, right? They're giving us S3, EBS, EFS, all these services they are giving to us. So they need to maintain one storage, right? That is SAN. Yes, they have to maintain the SAN. Okay. Amazon SAN network. Wait a minute, I'm getting a call. Okay. Yeah. So what we are the SAN network. Here you can see how they maintains. Okay. And one more thing. Let's say these all servers in the cloud, like you're taking Alibaba cloud, or taking in Oracle, or even though in the AWS. So you have to configure here direct connect, AWS DX, and VPN, and site to site, and then you can use your own SAN network with the servers. You don't need to depend on the like managed SAN or managed storage. If it really not, it's costing you a loss. Already you have a big company. Take it as an example. This one. We have a data play, right? The same kind of a broadcasting things. They maintains their own SAN, and they're not. If they are going for the managed storage at the cloud side, they need to pay much more, since they're already having their own storage things and storage network. Why they want to go with servers? Yes, at servers maintenance, it's some budget is very less, but they want to utilize the file sharing or other things, the storages from their storage. Yes, they create the DX connect or VPN connect, and they'll use this accessing the things. Server can web servers can access this one, this storages. So like this. Okay. So EFS is completely managed from your AWS. NFS is just the protocol that is going to uh, enable remote access across your servers, remote servers, for accessing the directories. That is EFS NFS difference. We'll be using it more at web servers and content management servers. We're doing a big e-commerce things, and you want to keep the always the data at the front end and up front of the servers. Okay, then we'll be going with the EFS, and at data analytics side also. Okay, at data analytics side, handling the peak workloads of your application, we use EFS. History. Okay, this is history. I'm giving you in the chart. Check it out. Okay, cool. So you can configure your this one like this, and whatever the size it's going to be, here it is having the calculation. You can monitor it, and if you're using tags, you can tag it. File system policy, access points that you want to really access from the S3, or you want to access to the Fargate, or do you want to access to the EKS. Okay, we can create an access points. Network. Okay, AP South 1A, 1B, and 1C, 3 availability zones. It was available. And the replication, we have not created any replication with another region. You can create a replication. We'll see this replication at our S3. Wait until that, you will get a very good clarity at the S3 replication between the multiple regions. If you create replication also, replicate the new filing system at another region, or replicating the existing file system at another region. Okay, destination region you can select Virginia or something. So at Virginia, create the same file system, select that. Whatever the file or directory you creating here as the AWS, it is also going to be updated in the server which you created in the Virginia. Okay, or in Ohio or any other region, it's going to be updated over there. Okay, sir, I read yesterday EC2 volume can be decreased. Okay, see, yesterday when I'm going to decrease the size, what it is given a very clear warning to you that you cannot go for the decrease thing, but you can try it out with the CDK like AWS CLI command, that you can decrease the thing by that command, but it's not at all recommendable because you're already going with some certain size and you're increasing that the data value, and again you want to go and decrease the things, copying the things. Why? That's how it's not recommend for it. By CLI commands you can do it. By CLI commands you can do it. Steps are difficult, yes, but by CLI command, the single command, it can be happen. No much difficulties are there. Yes. Take volume sensing. Like rsync you can use. Rsync or copy. Rsync is a good tool at the Linux things. So you can use rsync. Okay. So this is for today's subject. 10:30 or okay. I'll be going to delete this one. Confirm the deletion by entering the file system ID. Copy this. Delete. It's going to be deleted, and then I'll delete my EC2 instances. And I'll give you one thing, just go and create launch template from an instance. One task for all of you, just go and explore and come with the what it is. Create a template from an instance. What is the use of it? Yesterday we forgot to discuss, like at AMA class I forgot to discuss this one. Now I got like idea. Create, so take it as a task. Create template from instance, create a template, and what is the use of template and why you are going for it. Okay, and how it is saving your time. First thing, what are all the configurations will be inside the template. Check it out. AWS Notes is already shared